This is 20 England fans versus 1 Australian. But it's not just any Australian, it's renowned journalist, Final Word podcast host and author Adam Collins. We're at Lord's, the home of cricket, and this is going to work just like the Ashes. It's a 5-test series. We have 5 controversial statements from our collection of England fans, which they will have to argue, persuading both Adam and you at home of their case. If any fan here thinks they can improve the argument, all they have to do is signal to me like they're reviewing a decision, and I can decide if they get substituted in. Please give a warm welcome to Adam Collins. Welcome, mate. Welcome. Welcome, Adam. Before we get started with the hostilities, how are you?
Brilliant. Not often I'll get into costume as a 41-year-old, but you're a persuasive man, Toby. So here we are, ready to take on. I'm sure there'll be very informed opinions. I'm sure there'll be no hot takes here. They'll have read their literature. They'll be ready to roll, and we'll duke it out.
Speaking of literature, tell us a bit about what you've been up to.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Bedtime Tales for Cricket Tragics, just fresh out of the box this morning, launching today with Fairfield Books. It's a book about our history program on the Final Word called Storytime. So some rogue stories about the game, 22 of them that we've compiled as part of our weekend history show.
Fantastic. Speaking of cricket tragics, we've got 20 of them around us.
Yes.
And they're going to take you on in an Ashes debate. The first statement from this collection of England fans is, Bazball is not reckless. It is the future of the format, and Australia are too defensive to win the series. Who's up for that one? Welcome.
Hello.
Friendly face. Hello, Munners.
How are you?
Good, mate.
Adam Collins. The defensive style of Australia, the top of off, the Steve Smith putting us all to sleep with clipping them off the hip for hours and hours is going to be the death of cricket. This isn't just the fact that England are going over there to dominate. They're going over there to save the very game we love. It will die on its heart.
You are telling on yourself. What's your attention span like? 150 years of Test cricket, and you can't get aroused by 90 overs of the top of off? We don't need a saviour. Test cricket doesn't need saving in Australia. It's the bloody national conversation. It's ubiquitous. It's what we live and breathe from.
It's your fourth sport. The biggest talent drought in the world is Australian sporting.
What data are you taking from?
Mine. Extensive research. And if you want to talk about arousal in cricket, nothing gets me going more than Bazball. Nothing gets me going. And yeah, you guys will sit around, you go, we invented this style of cricket back in the day, when we were bullying people all over the place. But that was because international cricket was dross at that point. Now we've got proper sides playing against each other, and England are going out there and they haven't got the talent that Australian side had. But what they do have is absolutely balls to the floor confidence that we're going to go out there and whack everything.
There is no doubt that they have found a style of play which works on flatties, on featherbeds here, on CEO pitches here in the UK, where they want it to reach late day 4 and day 5, good as gold. But look at the pitches in Australia over the last 4 years. They've intentionally got more live grass, the steel reinforced kookaburra with the enormous seam and the lacquer which they've brought in the last few seasons, which is why bowlers like Scott Boland have cleaned up routinely. Josh Hazlewood, peak of his powers. Mitchell Starc's got over 400 Test wickets. That's the real quiz.
Are they not going to be changing it this year to flatter wickets because the broadcasters aren't happy?
Before you answer that, we've got another review. Banks in, you come. Thank you, Munners. Cheers. Jump in. Go.
Munners. Nice try, buddy. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Very well, thank you. The reason that Australian cricket fans hate Bazball so much is they wish it was them that did it first.
It's an interesting proposition. I think that Australian fans are fascinated by the attention that the England team have enjoyed over the last 3.5 years. The last time England were in Australia, 67 all out at the G. I had the fortune of commentating on that remarkable day of Test cricket. Scott Boland, 6 for 9, build the man a statue, etc., etc. That's Australia's last relationship with England, 1-to-1.
Yeah,
Ollie Robinson with his foot off the pitch, backing away, getting his middle stump taken out of the ground at Hobart to end the series. That's the last time they saw England. And most, I reckon, Aussie fans who tap into this are like, hang on a minute, why are they garnering so much attention for a side that's been successful winning but also losing a lot as well? They've been middling. They've won series they should win, and they've not won series where they should be stepping up, with the notable exception of Pakistan 3 years ago.
That team was the last bastion of Root's blockers. We had Hamid and Burns clogging it up exclusively in the first hour where we were all watching, and then they would block it for a bit and get out, and we'd have to...
Got to stay up later. You've got to commit to the bit. You can't be an England fan this winter going to bed at lunch.
Can I touch on the second point of this statement? Obviously, Bazball, we focused on that. Australia are too defensive to win the series. Banksy, do you agree?
Yeah, I do. And I actually, going back to the point that Australia wishes that they had invented Bazball, I actually think that this defensive style of cricket that they're playing is actually just in spite of being anti-English. They know that this is the right way to play cricket, but they refuse to do it themselves because that would be admitting that we thought of it first.
I mean, look, it's an unusual set of links in the chain. I'll pay you that, but I don't think that Steve Smith sits up at night thinking about what England are doing.
I think that's all he does.
I think he sits up at night with a bat in his hand, shadow batting in the hotel. They've talked about he's in hotels when they can hear him in the next room batting in the middle of the night. However, I reckon they're pretty satisfied with their lot in life as a team that's enjoyed a great deal of team success, especially since Cummins took over.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That is statement number 1 concluded. I'm going to give the win to Australia. 1-0 up. Congratulations, Adam. Well batted. Statement number 2. Thank you, Banksy.
Cheers, Banksy. I love your art.
A fantastic start to this Ashes debate. Statement number 2 from this collection of England fans is the 2023 Ashes showed England are now the better team, even if they didn't win the urn. Who's up for that one?
Who we got?
First, you know.
You'll both get a go. It's okay.
Don't sit back and relax here, guys.
What's
Come
your
on.
name?
My name is Sid. So my take is that 2019 or from 2019 to 2023, it was the rebirth of the Ashes, pun intended, for the England cricket team. From nowhere, from taking a 4-0 battering at Australia, England came back with a new resurgence with Bazball, or with, let's say, Stokes and McCullum, which rather became Bazball. It was a term that media coined. It was not something. England played a fighting spirit. With fighting spirit, they played to win. They had a team that played as a unit for the first time. It was not reliant on a Cook or, let's say, an Anderson to rise up. We had 6 different players taking part in the 2023 series in England. From 2-0, we came back to 2-all, leveling the series. Had it not been for the rain in Manchester, we could have gone 3-2 and won the Ashes.
Okay. I'm not even sure you believe that. I'm not even sure you believe England were the better team in 20... Good try. The rationalisation I appreciate, but do you genuinely think that the sides that duked it out 2 years ago, they were evenly matched? It was a cracking series, and the Bazball approach, taking Cummins and Hazlewood and Starc at 4+ and over, takes some doing, no doubt whatsoever. But those big moments when they arrived at Edgbaston, when Cummins and Lyon put on 55 unbeaten for the 9th wicket to win a test match at 7:30 on day 5, that takes some of this stuff. And at Lords as well, when Stokes was teeing off out here, after the palaver with Carey and Bairstow and the aforementioned England fans who don't know the laws of the game, losing their mind over there, that cascaded in towards Australia having to stick tough at the end. That's what defined the series, setting it up 2-0. From there, no doubt, great win at Leeds. Harry Brook, the best test innings he's played so far.
Now, just one counter to that.
Go for it.
Like, you're talking about a lot about England now. That itself speaks that England played as a unit. Australia, can you remember one highlight?
What, Khawaja batting in all 5 days of the test match?
That's the only thing you've mentioned.
Khawaja, first
that's the only thing you've mentioned. I can talk about Stokes' heroic innings. I can talk about Jack Leach holding one
before
end.
Getting him out, bowling to one side. Clever cricket. The sugar hit that is Bazball most of the time. Ideally, Test cricket at its peak level is absorbing pressure when you need to and applying pressure when you can. The lack of nuance in the way
England
did,
taking on a pressure from 0-2.
Nathan Lyon down here, snapping his calf in 2, and England not having the attention span to bat out the day. That's what lost them the series.
Sid, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jump in.
I'll be back.
Fantastic. Take it away, my mate. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, lovely jacket.
Hi, mate.
Lance Armstrong had one like that, didn't he?
He
was
did,
a cheat as well.
And we're 5 minutes into the debate. There it is.
Yeah, for me it was 4-1. The 4-1. The weather, England didn't lose the Ashes. The weather defended it for Australia.
Just so I'm aware, where was this?
Where was the other one then? 4-1. Struggling to catch 2.
I'm going to get to that. So we're on the topic cheating, aren't we? So if Carey didn't stump Bairstow, would have won that test.
Oh dear,
that's 42 runs it was. We would have got that easily.
It's quite sad that you maintain that view. Have you played cricket growing up?
Yeah, I'm a keeper, so I completely get it right.
Keeper over here. Going back to what I said about English cricket culture. You guys play to your 14, you do something else.
He ruined the game for the country. He ruined the game for everyone watching. He ruined the summer for everyone.
Oh, I'm
even
so
Australia.
sorry.
No,
I'm so desperately sorry that knowing how the laws of the game work
No.
and Bairstow dozily walking out of his crease.
Carey is the type of guy on Christmas Day when he's playing Monopoly with his nan. He'll take money off her when she's not looking.
Oh, dear.
Does that
It's a
make
good
England
line, but
better
it doesn't
team?
marry up with reality.
We're getting distracted
but it
with
does.
the-
It does because that would have been 4-1.
Okay.
That would have been 4-1
And
with
then
the
a better
weather.
team. England a better team in 2023.
Yeah. They scored more runs and took more wickets as well.
Oh, is that how cricket games are determined?
Well, it's not. No.
No,
But-
right, okay, got it. So it's
But
2-0 and
but
Australia
the
retain
question
the
is,
Ashes.
overall, were England the better team, even though they didn't win?
I'm
And they
not
were.
even sure you believe that, young
No,
man.
I do. No,
I
do.
really don't think you
4-1
believe
it was
that.
in
We've
my
got a
head.
review over here. And you come.
What was your name?
Ivan.
When was your debut?
Me, 63.
63, okay.
Yeah.
Ivan, do you believe that England were the better team in 2023?
I think what nobody's brought up yet is the England bowling attack. We've concentrated on runs, we've concentrated on scoring quickly and all this kind of stuff, but nobody's thought about Perth, Archer, Wood, Cass.
We can do that now. Is
You know,
that
and I
good?
think,
Let's do that now,
the fact
Are we
because
out of scope? Or
Let's
Well,
do
no,
it.
because I think this is where
Fine,
2023 is coming from. You know, we're developing. We had Anderson, obviously.
You've got a brand new attack this time.
We've got a brand new
apart from Wood.
attack, and I think this is one of the things. The confidence mentally, I think the England team, they're in a much better place than they've been before. You know, if you think about 30 years ago, people like Ramprakash, Hick, etc. I mean, Hick's been coaching the Australians, hasn't he?
He's
So-
coached a lot of places.
Yeah, and he's wonderful batsman, but he wasn't the strongest-minded individual, sadly.
Got 135 first-class hundreds.
Brilliant player. I love him.
Yeah.
I've seen him naked, right?
love
And
to
it's
see him naked.
scary.
Ivan, thank you so much. We're getting a bit carried away here. I think statement number 2, 2023 Ashes showed England are now the better team, even if they didn't win the urn. I found compelling arguments in both cases, but speaking of 2-0, Australia go 2-0 up.
We'll take
Statement number 3.
it. Just like
you.
2023.
That's shocking.
Ivan, thank you so much. Statement number 3. Australia have an ageing bowling attack. England's young guns will batter them into submission. It's Australia's last chance to win the Ashes in 10 years. Who's up for that one? Go for it.
Here we go. What's your club there, mate? Crouch end. Excellent.
No worries. Introduce yourself.
My name's Jawad. So, going on to the argument, I mean, I do believe the England side will batter this bowling attack. We've got Starc, Pat, and all the other blokes. I mean, they have a legacy for themselves. And in this Ashes, if they want to destroy the legacy they've built for themselves, they can go forward. I'm just saying that our batsmen, our new side, will actually just batter them and just put them to sleep.
Yeah, well, you've guaranteed it, so we should then no longer play the series because you've guaranteed England.
Yeah.
I would say an attack that has a bloke. Nathan Lyon's got 570 Test wickets. Pat's got 300 plus. Hazlewood's got nearly 300 and Starc's has taken 400. That is a remarkable group of bowlers playing together, and history will judge that. Not this room. History will judge them being as perhaps the best quartet to play together for an extended period of time in the history of the game in terms of Test matches played as a group. If England want to play the way they play, and I'm sure they will, and that's fine, they will be doing it with a very, very high degree of difficulty. It won't be a case of bullying bowlers who come here and struggle on flat wickets. They'll be doing it on lively pitches against bowlers who know these conditions, who remain on the available evidence of what we've seen this year at the peak of their powers as
I mean,
well.
the wickets do speak for themselves. We had Anderson, Wokes. They've gone. They had the legacy. They knew when to retire. They've kept.
Which one of those Australians should have retired before the series?
I mean, all of them. All of them. They're finished. I'm saying we had our bowlers. We had our own players. They knew when to retire. They've kept.
Anderson,
the legacy.
you went to retire?
I mean, no, I said it.
He was told very clearly when to retire.
But okay, I mean that's another argument. If you want to go into that, there's a lot of stuff you want to say on that. But I'm saying the new cricketers of England, I'm just saying they'll just smack them all around the park, everywhere.
Thank you, Ray. We've got a lot of
Look forward
reviews.
to seeing it.
2 minutes to count. So first one to the chair gets the debate. Adam. Banksy's back.
Banksy's back.
You guys have got to be quicker behind me. You've got to be quicker.
Got to get the T single up and away we go.
All right, Banksy, come on.
I will
Okay.
grant you that the cartel are pretty handy. All right,
Yeah.
they're a decent set of bowlers. At their ages,
Yep.
it is extremely unlikely that they're going to play all 5. We already know that Pat's missing the first one. I think that's a bit of a fugazi.
They'll
I
play
think
at
he's
least
gonna-
4.
Oh, I
bowlers.
don't. We'll
They'll play at
debate
least
that
4
one
bowlers.
too.
No, I'm saying they'll play a
Sure.
minimum of 4 quicks for
Sure,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And Boland is 36 now,
Yep.
and we'll be smarting from him getting hit out the attack over here 2 years ago.
I'm sure he will, yeah.
And then
sure he'll be livid about
Brendan
it.
Doggett, his mum doesn't even know who he is. Sure.
It comes back to my previous point, which we talked about before. You guys don't follow enough cricket in this country. Did you watch the Shield last night? Do you know what he
No,
did last
obviously
night?
not. It's rubbish.
5 for spit. Yeah, there's a reason why Brendan Doggett's in this squad is because the Shield has been a finishing school for great Australian cricketers for generations, and he is clearly next cab off the rank if there's an injury.
Yeah, the
and he's
new
performing.
up-and-comer at the age of 31.
Which is
alongside Abba, who's 32.
Which is fine. What did Greg Chappell say the other day? 35's the new 30, or 30's the new 35, whichever way it goes. The point is that I really don't think that you can say of Cummins, Starc, Hazlewood and Boland, if you've watched them recently, that any of them have showed any signs of decline whatsoever.
I would say that this core, they are ageing, and if you lose another one on top of Cummins, all of a sudden that attack, the depth in quality in comparison to England have been preparing for this for the last 4 years. All 6 of our bowlers that we're taking have played important test cricket. Tongue, Potts, Cast probably won't start that first test, but if any of them come in for the second or the third, we're feeling pretty confident.
They
as
should.
England fans.
If you've got a plan A to bowl quick at Perth, play Cast, play Tongue, play Archer, play Wood. Play them all.
Yeah, why not?
Play them all. If you're fair income about this, if this isn't just sort of, if you want to go all out pace, and you want to go all out, rough them up, play all 4 big quicks in the first test. Don't play Potts, don't play Atkinson, back yourselves.
For sure, but then if we do play all 4 and we go, okay, well then we can bring in 2 very high quality England seamers to come in after them. We can. If you guys get hit out of the attack in Perth, and if one of your old guys falls over, or
who was leading the county championship?
Thank you, Banksy. That was superb. Switching
leading the county championship after a month this year was Fergus O'Neill.
Yeah. Which you never play. He's not in your squad, and that's the reason you hate your youngsters. Fergus O'Neill can't even get in your squad. Sean Abbott came in instead. Why do you hate young Australian cricketers?
I think the Australian cricketers who are in the squad right now are the ones that they are picking for the series in front of them. They're not getting to... Remember, everyone gets so fascinated with players 13, 14, 15 in a squad. They're barely going to play a role in this series.
Aren't you worried about them getting injured, though?
But then they'll have the provision. You know how it works. If a player goes out, a player comes in.
And then another aged one comes in again.
Well,
the average age just keeps rising.
I think there's a decent chance Michael Neser will play the second test at Brisbane.
Fergus O'Neill?
At Brisbane. Well,
you were commentating on the county championship. You saw how well he was doing. Why is he not in that squad?
You don't need to convince me of the skills of Fergus O'Neill. I'm his biggest advocate.
Why are the Australians hating them?
There's
the Australian selectors.
They love Fergus O'Neill. They want Fergus O'Neill to be in the next generation coming through, but they're not going to dispense with Boland, Cummins, Hazlewood, Starc. Those 4, the big dogs, are not going to be replaced by the generation below simply because what their birth certificate says. At the moment, there are signs of decline, on the other hand. That is when these decisions will be made. And Fergus O'Neill, leading the championship after a month, led the Shield.
When they won't have actually a chance to get used to cricket.
O'Neill's 24.
25.
24, 25, 25, fine. I don't think he's hardly going to an old age home. He's got time on his side, big time. Pat Cummins was barely fit and able to get to the bowling crease till he was 25, and he's taken 300 test wickets since. You are, as a bowler, usually provided with a window of fitness. He's in it right now. I think that when O'Neill gets his chance, and it's not just him, by the way, there are a whole series of bowlers who...
You do have a feeling that Australians sometimes throw out their youngsters. For example, you kind of had Nathan McSweeney. He didn't kind of exactly work out on your timescale. He threw out Sam Constance.
But
Constance
Constance was brought in...
Bancroft under the bus during Sandgate. So... Papergate.
Bancroft was thrown under the bus.
Yes, by
he was suspended.
2 of your senior players.
But he was suspended and he came back and played. This is like the Mandela effect. People go, but Cameron Bancroft, he never got another chance. He played 2 Ashes Test matches in 2019. He got straight back in the Test side the moment his ban was over. So Bancroft did get another opportunity. Regrettably for him, and I wish he had have, he didn't seize the day. He didn't make it work.
Do you think that killed his kind of most productive years though? In terms
of the
9
months that he was suspended for, where Australia played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Test matches when he was gone.
And stuff.
6
Don't
test
you
matches
think
when he was
that
gone.
would have affected him though?
Andrew, thank you so much. Let's hear a new voice. Seb behind me, jump in, mate. I'll be honest, all this talk about guys who are over the hill, I've just turned 30 and I'm hating this conversation. Australia have an ageing bowling attack. England's young guns will batter them into submission. We've talked a lot about Australia's ageing bowling attack.
Yes.
Can we please specify England's young guns, how many runs they're going to get and who's going to win them the Ashes?
I think Jofra Archer is a big key.
Yeah.
I feel like I just
With the bat, yeah?
With the bat?
Yeah.
Who's going to batter them?
Root.
He's one of the young guns who are going to batter them. Keep circling through. So it's not Root.
100% Root. I think you probably would agree with that as well.
I'm wearing the jacket. I'd love nothing more than Joe Root to make runs this series.
Wow, first concession, 10 minutes in. Thank you, Adam.
It would make me a very happy person because I actually care about Test cricket in totality, not just Australia winning. The way in which England can batter Australia, you look down the list a little bit. I have the great fortune of covering Jamie Smith very closely. He's the kind of character. If they can lay a foundation, that's where it could get interesting. Older ball, Jamie Smith, pongoing them, that would be fun. If I were England, acknowledging that Root and Brooke are their 2 best players, Smith is the one who could do what you're describing there, Tony.
I think the big 2 as well is probably Crawley and Duckett up front. I feel like they could easily take the game from Australia. I think that happened a few times in the last series where I remember the Oval, they got off to a really good start. And it's almost like the confusion with how tall Crawley is and how small Duckett is. Duckett square of the wicket, Crawley down the ground very much. I think they're really well suited to Australia. I don't know.
Crawley,
Any reviews here?
Yeah,
jump in. Seb? Jump
I'll
in.
do your
Thank
Crawley
you.
bit while you're coming back. Crawley is obviously a player who can give it an absolute rocket and had made runs in Ashes cricket before. What's untested with Crawley is in the pitches that, I stress this, the pitches that are now being presented in Australia. You don't win the war by fighting the one that came before it. And if they try and win the Ashes series from 17-18, the 5 flat pitches from that series, in 25-26, they're in strife. That will not be the conditions. And that is the test for Zach Crawley. Can he do it when it's seaming around? Hello.
Yeah, hello.
This is Seb.
Hi, Seb.
Nice to meet you. I would also like to say that given the Crawley and Duckett's partnership over the last 4 years, since they've been playing under Baz and Stokesy, just proves that they can do it on those different pitches that, the likes of going out to India, Pakistan, the services we've had in England, out in New Zealand as well. I think that, as an opening partnership goes, I don't think they could be more prepared for whatever kind of pitches you're going to throw at us.
I mean,
it's the flat pitches, but it is the
I hate
seams.
being binary about stats because I don't like using averages as the crude reference point of how decent a player is. But if Crawley had mastered his craft, he wouldn't be averaging 31, right? Like, it just wouldn't be. If he was as prepared for Australia as you're describing, his average would have a 4 in front of it.
Exactly.
Duckett, on the other hand, has proven to himself as the inform opener near enough around the world in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I think you can separate the two of them. I don't think they're job lot. They're not the one player. They're very different in their prospectus going into this.
I would very much go against that, and I would say that Ben Duckett would not have done anywhere near as well as he has done without the help of Zach Crawley. I think partnerships are so key, especially in the game of cricket. If you look at the Australian lineup, obviously you've probably got Usman Khawaja at the top of the order. Who's his partner? I don't think he knows.
Jake Weatherald is the opener they've picked
Bit of
about.
uncertainty though, isn't there?
Yeah, it could be Marnus Labuschagne if Green can't bowl. We'll find out tomorrow. If we're doing this debate tomorrow, we could say whether Green's going to bowl or not. We know what the Australian team's going to be.
England fans, you're 2-0 down. We need a defiant statement. Munners, jump in.
Love
Can
the
you win
Surrey
this one?
shirt from
Can you win
late
this
90s
one
Surrey shirt
for
from
England.
Collins, you've been dragging us away from the point because you're scared. Listen,
I'm a politician.
Everyone knows what happens in Australian Test matches. Doesn't really matter what your openers do. Everyone nicks off early, and then in the middle order, that's when it goes right or wrong for a bowling side. And we have a young gun who's going to do an absolute job here. You wouldn't be surprised. You can admit this. If we're sitting here in a few weeks' time and you say Harry Brook has had the greatest series of all time, you wouldn't be surprised, would you?
I think that so much relies on his young shoulders. I think there is so much built. What you're describing there, I think is a structural flaw in this. So much hinges on how well Harry Brook does. First time of asking in Australia, it's going to be brilliant to see how he deals with that.
Is that your ageing bowling attack against a young?
I don't know. I don't really understand
Harry
his
Brook.
aging. Did you guys watch the series in the Caribbean recently? Is anyone detecting a sign of a single smidgen of deterioration in those quicks? Is anyone seeing that?
Well,
I'm not seeing it.
coming into it. Well, listen, we had Lyon didn't last the last Ashes.
But is that deterioration or is that an injury?
That's an injury.
That's an injury, right?
he's
So
old.
after playing 100 Test matches in a row.
And the
But
same
since
with
that
Pat
was
Cummins,
2.5
he's
years
injured
ago,
because he's
right?
old.
That was 2.5 years ago. Has Lyon been unavailable through fitness for another Test since?
Right, Pat
So he
Cummins
is
going
durable.
into this series still.
His first
is
injury
injured.
since 2017.
Okay, because he's old.
Last few moments of this statement,
I'm
please.
telling you.
Make your case.
I'm telling you. I've put it on Harry Brook, young gun battering an aging Australian side. That was the point. I've made it, and you've just taken us off the point consistently for the last 10 minutes. That's 2-1.
Fantastic. We are really getting into this now. Statement number 4. The only Australian players getting into a combined 11 are Smith, Cummins, Hazlewood and Lyon. The rest are English. Go.
Hi, Adam, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. I'm familiar with seeing lots of your TikToks and
thank you,
lots of my WhatsApp groups.
Have you enjoyed it?
Good as gold. Go for it. Okay, let's go.
So, first of all, you said that an average for Zach Crawley needs a 4 in front of it. Well,
No, I said that my exact line was if Crawley was going, I can't remember, it was going to be a world beater in Australia, having an average of 31 doesn't really provide the ballast for that point being made.
Okay, well, his average against Australia is 43. So, thanks for proving that right to start with.
It wasn't about what he's done against Australia on those flat ones out here last time. It was about across the board.
He's got a 77 in Sydney.
All five. I was there for that. All 5 tests.
Did you enjoy it?
That was also that was the only test in that series that was drawn. That was by far the flattest pitch of the series as well. So no doubt Crawley's got ability. My point is that you can't talk up Crawley as a prospective world beater when across the last, how long has he played Test cricket for? Half a dozen years now. An average of 31. He may get in the team because they want to see his ability to come off 1 in 10. I get the logic in that, but you can't sort of build a case that he is the guy that's going to lead England to salvation.
Okay, let's talk about the opening partnership then. So for the combined 11, we've got...
Yeah, who do we have? Sorry, you might have to provide...
No, that's okay. Smith, Cummins, Hazlewood and Lyon.
Yeah. So I think Crawley and Duckett both get in ahead of Khawaja, purely because, let's be honest, batting against pace is going to be the main issue for these England batters. For the Australian batters, going to be batting against pace. Let's have a look at Khawaja's stats against pace this year, averaging 19. Yes, it's been on tricky decks, I admit. However...
Khawaja is the low-key big story coming into the series. I hate to be a journalist for a moment, but if Khawaja misses out in the first couple of test matches, his rope won't be long on the basis of what you're saying there. Bumrah worked him over, and he also had a poor run of it in the Windies. So I think that is... I wouldn't disagree that if you were picking a left-handed opener, Duckett would be ahead of Khawaja in the combined side right
Good, thank you. Thank you very much. There you go, Toby.
Great stuff. But I made the point for you.
So Crawley and Duckett ahead, and then to be honest, I don't think Green's
so Crawley is opening by default because Weatherall's not played a test match yet.
Absolutely.
What about if Labuschagne's available for... What about if Green's playing the first test as the 3? Are you genuinely saying you'd rather see Zach Crawley walk out than Marnus Labuschagne in the test match?
I think Labuschagne currently is out of the side. He's not even inside. To be honest, I don't think he's even in this combined
Got the Crick Info app?
I know he's not.
You're seeing how many runs he's made recently? He's not in the Aussie team.
Yeah, I know. He's using up all his runs, Adam. I'm telling you. He's got 500.
Tends not to be how it works.
He's not going to get any runs in the Ashes. He's getting all that beforehand. But yeah, then I think, to be honest, Archer and Wood could probably slot in there. Cummins is out injured. So let's have Hazlewood. Is Hazlewood getting in there over Archer and Wood? What do you reckon? I want to hear you first.
I mean, is Josh Hazlewood getting into any side he's ever available for ever for the rest of time? Yes. Anyone that's watched Josh Hazlewood bowl since... Trying to get the right reference point. There was a period of time when he kept getting injured, and since then, when he's been broadly available for Test cricket, he's averaging like 14 or something absurd. Okay. And his run against India in white ball cricket was just the last little reminder that anyone needed that he's still absolutely hot to trot. So Hazlewood he's in the team, isn't he? He's in this team as it is.
Hazlewood and Lyon.
Starc's a funny one. So you would say that Archer having returned for 2 test matches against India, was it 2 or 3?
Yeah,
2 at the end of the series, whatever it was, would be playing ahead of Mitchell Starc with 400 test wickets, hat-trick in his last start.
I'm not arguing against Starc. I'm not arguing.
But Starc's not in the side at the moment, so you would buy if you're agreeing with the statement. Starc's not in there.
I am, yeah.
So Starc and the other fast bowler would need to be.
Can I just get your predictions for the series, Charlie?
Yeah, 3-2 England. Or 5-0 Australia, one of the 2.
I'm fearful if they don't win in Perth, we've got problems. I think if England don't win in Perth, it could be a long 2 months.
Can I just say, the one thing that annoys me more than anything else about what an Aussie could say is that I hope England play well in this series to make it interesting. The one thing, I hope Root gets 100 to make it interesting.
I'll tell you something. When I was 18, I went to the G to watch the Melbourne Test match in 2002, watched every day of it, and that final day when England were defending about 130, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, I reckon there were just as many Australians there that day hoping England would win as Australia would win, because it was patronising by that point. It was like, gee, wouldn't it just be a nice thing if England did well in Australia? Now, I'm not saying there's that sentiment right now. There is that antipathy towards Stokes and McCullum and the way that they've branded themselves and the bathwater they've been sculling for 3.5 years. But a little bit of it is, there's not been a competitive Ashes series in Australia since 1982-83. That is a really long time. We've had plenty of series out here which have been brilliant. 2005, 2009, 2015, 1923. In Australia, we have been starved since 82-83, and Australia still won that anyway. Yeah. So, 2-2 going into Sydney, 3-2 one way or the other, would be great for Test cricket.
Charlie, if you can, tell me why England are going to win the series in 60 seconds or less.
So I think that what they've got is different to anyone else in the world. First of all, let's be honest, we have lost the last 3 Ashes, a combined 13-0. But that's because we've gone out there, we played the same every single time. This time we're different, Toby. This time we're different, Adam. All right, the Bazball is going to lead the way. It's not even Bazball. We don't want to call it Bazball. It's what the world calls it, but it's not. It's something more than that. It's fearless cricket. All right, it's about sending out the young guys, the young guns, without caring the world. All right, that is what the new generation needs.
Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Not a care in the world cricket. You want careless cricket.
I don't want careless. Not what I
said. Not a care in the world, right?
I said not a care in the world about the possible repercussions. They've got to be fearless.
Careless about repercussions sounds like the formula for absolute disaster
in
Australia.
I
hope you're wrong on that. Good job. Well done.
This is fun.
Hi, Ed. Nice to meet you.
I think the combined 11 question was particularly tricky. Charlie was the only one.
Sorry, I wasn't really following it.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
Just to pick you up on a point that you said there, where you've been starved of good Ashes series down under for the last however long. Were you at Melbourne in 2010?
But England won that series 3-1.
Yeah, agreed, because the Australians didn't turn up for it.
Yeah, so I'm saying and England dominated Australia in 86, 87 as well. So a close series is different to one team dominating the other. England have won 2 in Australia in my lifetime, and on both occasions they flogged Australia at home. The question for England fans, is this the generational tipping point where Australia fall off the cliff? Are they falling off the cliff with a side that includes Smith, Head, Labuschagne, Carey, Starc, Cummins, Hazlewood, Lyon? Is that really happening? Is that team falling off a cliff?
Who's getting into your side as the keeper, by the way? Should we go through Jamie Smith and Alex Carey very quickly?
Who's going in? Oh, sorry, the combined 11.
Combined 11, yeah.
It's probably one of the better debates.
Yep.
That'd be one of your 45-55 debates, because Smith's been a revelation. He's averaging 50 century in a session. There's nothing wrong with what Jamie Smith does. Although in saying that, Alex Carey has now got experience, and don't discount how important experience is in big series. And Carey's been in terrific nick for a couple of years as well. So, it's a close one, but if I were picking the team tomorrow, I'd want Carey playing for me.
So out of the 4 that we've said there, we've got Smith. Who are the others as well?
What did we say? We said Smith, Cummins, Hazlewood and Lyon.
Smith, Cummins, Hazlewood and Lyon.
So Travis Head's not there?
No, Travis Head's not there.
Holy dooly.
Are we taking Harry Brook or Travis Head?
Let's have them both. Why not both?
Let's position by position. This is obviously the BBC Sport article which went crazy.
I think Travis Head has been the definition of a world beater for a number of years now, and the higher the degree of difficulty, the better Head plays. When Australia were under the pump, losing at Perth last year against India, who stood up and made 140 from 140? Travis Head. Brisbane, needing to get a result in that test match, another run a ball 100. World Cup final, 2 for Spit, chasing 300 odd at Ahmedabad, Travis Head 100. World Test Championship final against India a year before that, 170 odd, Travis Head. When it matters, it's Travis Head. Brook, what a precocious talent he is, but he doesn't have that CV, that rap sheet of doing it when it's bloody hard. And ideally, this will be one of those type of series where every session matters.
He's building that, though, isn't he? He's the one he hasn't got the repertoire that Travis Head does at the moment, because he hasn't got the longevity, which Travis Head does. And
That's
he hasn't
right.
got the experience. So Harry Brook is on the
path. Yeah.
He's on the curve. But I would take Harry Brook because, like we said earlier in the previous question, we've got someone who's going to batter the Australians. He's going to take Nathan Lyon into low orbit for half the Test matches that we play, when he just won't let him settle at an end, and that's what it's going to be for half the series. Is it's going to be Harry Brook not letting Nathan Lyon settle so that he can hold up that end, and then you're going to have the other pacers of Jofra Archer coming through, Mark Wood, and like you said, in Perth, we're going to play the quicks. We're going to try and, if you want to play Nathan Lyon in that first test.
When do you play Shah Bashir? When do you run the gauntlet?
Thank you very much. Jump in, mate.
Nice job.
I have to be honest, I'm absolutely loving this, but we probably couldn't have picked a harder person to debate, so fair play.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back.
I wanted to come back on that point of Joff.
Go for it.
So, did you watch the test on Amazon Prime?
I have sort of not really. Sorry.
Right,
do I need to have watched this to answer the question?
2019, when Joff came out and he was bounding in, he was bowling flames.
What a great day that was.
Them lads on the balcony, they were trembling. They were terrified. And you said you'd take Hazlewood over Joff.
I think you're taking Hazlewood over anyone.
No,
he's in the team.
No. When it comes to we've all played.
But we're not debating Hazlewood's spot. The argument wasn't about Hazlewood.
No,
but
I was coming back
onto
that point about But who would you take over Joff then?
I think if I were picking England's best, most effective bowler in Australia, I'm taking Wood on the basis of what he did last time. Wood in 21-22 was the only cricketer.
Australian-wise, who would you say?
No, but I would play the other Australian 2 quick. If I were doing this team and I were picking 3 quicks, but so I got this right. You're picking 3 quicks. Hazlewood's one of them. Pat's the other. Starc's the other. I don't know where Joff fits.
Starc wouldn't get in ahead of Joff.
Okay, 400 Test wickets against a bloke who's been able to only play.
Not at this point.
Since when was Joffrey's last Test cricket before that? 2021.
At this point now, when the pressure's on, you don't want 90 mile per hour bowling at you. No one in Test cricket, no one in the world wants that pace being bowled at them.
Yeah, I would say if you're picking one of Archer or Wood, though, I'd take Wood at the moment, because Wood in Australia has shown in 21-22 that for whatever reason he's got that thing in him. Wood, he's got that thing about him that means he can shake up from that low centre of gravity. It's something about this, the whole package with Wood. If I were picking one of those two, yes, but the combined side, I don't think it's a question of Hazlewood playing or Archer playing. I think there's room for both. A bit like that, was it Brook Head? Yeah. Anyone who knows cricket's playing both of them in a combined 11. Forget about your sort of selected spots.
If England fans admit it, did you win that argument? Hands up if you did.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, of course you're going to say that. 2-2. What a great series this is. Statement number 5 from this collection of England fans is, if Ben Stokes leads England to victory down under, he will go down as the greatest Test captain of all time. 3, 2, 1, go. Go.
Hey. What's your name, mate?
Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Like the great man himself, we could just shake hands and all go home now. There's a lot of hostility in this room, right?
Is that?
Let's go on an adventure.
Yep.
Think about what Ben Stokes has to work with, right? Joe Root, fraud, no centuries in Australia. As we've established, Joffre crocked. Ben Stokes crocked. Ben Duckett small. Harry Brook thick. You take this ragtag group of misfits and you say, guys, we've won the Ashes. We've done it. We've gone to Australia and we've won it. Is that not the greatest story of all time? But the thing about Test cricket, I think it's important to note, Bazball didn't invent Test cricket. We can accept that. The ICC did when they made the World Test Championship. So Test cricket's been around for what, like 6 odd years. Of that 6 years, Ben Stokes leading England, and I mean, he'll probably get like some horrific injury by the third test they'll play on with for at least another 4 weeks. It would be the greatest story of all time. And if we're going purely off vibes, as everything has been, maybe the best vibe of all time.
Yes. That might be the most compelling passage I've heard today.
We're done.
Well done.
I'm going to go sit back down now.
Thank you, Dan.
You've done very well. I will respond, though. It's a fair point around what Stokes, if there have been 5 England captains who have won in Australia since World War II. So, you've got Illingworth, you've got Hutton, you've got Gatting, you've got Strauss, and there's one I'm missing off the top of my head. They're bloody... It's a good list. Bloody good list, right? Bloody good list. So
can you see Stokes on that list?
Oh, look, not really. I still, all year I've been talking up England having the ability to get to Sydney with the series alive. Do I really believe it in my soul? Not really. But if they did do it, it'd be a hell of a yarn. I agree with the point. Would it make him the greatest Test captain of all time, however? That might be a bit of a stretch.
I'm going to take you back to
Yes.
2013. Not our best year, Ashes-wise, but the legend of Ben Stokes was created there in Perth when everyone else was falling apart. It wasn't great. One young New Zealand-born, English like adopted man stood up and absolutely took it back to Australians. You're a journalist. You love narratives. Don't you think this is the perfect arc for Ben Stokes to come in, win the Ashes? Australia pretty much born in this kind of that series in terms of his legend started there. You might sometimes hate Bazball, but back in that series, that's where Ben Stokes started to show attitude, show kind of resilience. Don't you think that's the perfect arc to finish with him winning this series and then becoming the greatest Test captain?
I think what will happen if they win the series, he'll retire immediately. He just signed a 2-year contract, which is interesting. I think if they win in Australia, that would be pull the plug time because it doesn't get any better than that. But to come back to Toby's point, I'm not sure it makes the case that he's the greatest Test captain of all time. I think that would require him having taken England to the pointy end of the World Test Championship in the 3 cycles that he's been in charge of.
A tournament that, as Dan said, has only been around 6 years.
Where England
Thank you, Andrew, for switching. Mr. Spin,
where England have probably finished in the top... I don't think they finished in the top 7, have they? So, yes. Young fella, what's your name?
I'm Billy, that's me.
Billy, is it?
Billy, welcome,
nice to meet
buddy.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the call.
So basically, I think he's shown leadership like through young kids, saying like, because he's come from like not a massive cricket heritage of his dad being a New Zealand rugby player. I'm pretty sure he's come from Durham, which haven't produced that many English cricket players. Do basically what he's done, become captain and become one of the greatest English cricket players of all time.
Great stuff, Billy.
Thanks, Billy. Great stuff, mate. Great stuff. This is last chance for someone to jump in. We've got a couple more minutes left. Just
who hasn't had a go?
Go for it. Yeah, Louis, welcome, mate.
Hi, Louis. How you going? You too?
Yep, so I remember I started getting into cricket quite late, so it was about 2019, and there was this big positive bubble World Cup, T20 World Cup, but England's Test team was doing really poorly. I remember the West Indies tour, Broad got dropped, Anderson was dropped, then you had Broad coming out saying he was angry and upset with the system, Silverwood was just doing nothing, we've lost one win in 17 Test matches, and then Stokes comes in with Brandon McCullum and just completely changes the mood surrounding the team. You've got them winning games that probably shouldn't have won, chasing down these 4th innings totals, and they've made it look routine, and they just keep getting positive wins and build this mentality. And I think when we win in Australia, it will cement him, his legacy, being the best Test captain ever.
Yeah, look, it'll definitely cement his legacy. I think the question was best Test captain ever. There'd probably be about, at least conservatively, 10 to 15 people he'd need to, maybe more, need to nudge ahead to have. And I don't think he won't be. I don't think it'll be seen that way.
What would need to happen in this series, Adam, for him to be the greatest Test captain of all time?
I just don't think it's plausible.
England 5-0.
England 5-0. He's still not going to be. Yeah. You're right. It would take some Herculean. That would be the gravity of. It's not going to be like that.
So there's a chance.
You tell me there's a chance. I don't think there's not really a route to Stokes having that mantle. I don't think. Sure. In saying that, he already has what his percentage as Test captain for wins is already on the fairly high side, so he's lost a lot as well. Missed a lot of opportunities where they could have won Test matches under his leadership. But if they win in Australia, I stress this point, he'll go down with 5 other guys, and he will for the rest of his life dine out off that, because you can do a lot of things as an England captain, but the high water mark, as it's always been and probably always will be, is winning in Australia. So that is the Australian theatre. It's a whole different ball game to winning other series, especially series at home.
Fantastic, thank you, Louis. Switch in.
Yes. Hello.
Eamon, welcome.
Hi, Eamon.
Eamon, nice to meet you.
I think there's also an argument to be made about the way in which Stokes has changed the culture of Test cricket, which you might not see coming from Australia, where Test cricket is a lot more common amongst society than it is here. But in this country, he's completely revolutionised the way in which Test cricket is portrayed, and also got a lot more young people interested into Test cricket and done a lot more than what most captains would have done. So there's an entire argument about culture, which would, if he then went on to win the Ashes 5-0, whatever the score was, it would cement him because of all of that discourse around it. What are your markers for the best Test captain of all time?
Consistency over a longer stretch and being able to take teams to the top of the world and stay there and winning home and away. I mean, there are things that Stokes has achieved, some of them, some of the time. But I mean, you know, if you're trying to sort of, I don't know, to pick, but there's so many captains you could point to who've had that kind of protracted success. So Stokes would need to, if he wins in Australia though, what he does do for himself is he probably puts himself on like I hate this expression, but given people use it online a lot, the Mount Rushmore of England captains, right? He's right up there, and you know, I know that we over-index on stuff that's happened recently. So you know, the captains of 50 to 100 years ago don't often get raised in the same conversation because of it, but I think that Stokes can guarantee his legacy as one of the great modern England captains, undoubtedly, if they win in Australia. But the greatest Test captain ever is a bridge too far for me. Remember.
Eamon, thank you. We're going to switch in.
Yes.
Welcome.
Tarish.
Hi, Tarish.
Tarish, leaving it late. In you come.
Can I spin it around? Can I ask you a question? If they don't win the Ashes in Australia, does that mean he's not achieved? Because you know, we've been talking more broadly about his contribution as captain. Does that repudiate his legacy as captain to not win in Australia?
I mean,
because your whole framework there is when he wins in Australia, right? So if he weren't to win in Australia, does that diminish what he's achieved as leader? I think we're getting quite caught up on the idea of well, if he wins in Australia, it's everything, and if he doesn't, well, you know.
Absolutely not. It's about the progression of the game. So when he's first taken over to now, has he progressed the game forwards? And that's as custodians of the game. You know, Tendulkar, Waugh, you know, Lara. These are the kind of players in the company that he's going to be regarded in, you know.
Sure, but again, he's a very high-profile player and not enigmatic, that's the wrong term. He's an electrifying cricketer who's achieved the remarkable. What he did at Leeds in 2019 might go down as the greatest Test innings ever played. There's an argument to be made for that given the circumstances of that partnership with Jack Leach and everything else. But, I mean, is he a better... Will his captaincy CV go down as a better one than Pat Cummins' stroke for stroke? Like, probably not. History probably won't judge Ben Stokes as a better captain than Cummins. And they've captained at the same time. So to say that he is the greatest captain ever because England cricket was at a low ebb when he took over, I think he's a little bit of recency bias, to say the least.
Thank you very much. I am, unfortunately, going to award victory in the fifth and final statement to Adam Collins, 3-2.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well done. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Adam, for being such a good sport. See you next time on Cricket District.
Thanks, Adam.